do? This is your boy Fred Biggie Smalls, and we are over here at Diamond State Iron, and we are going to hit the, hey, here's my man Antonio.
Yep, let's go!
And we are going to hit, to show you examples of my favorite chest movements. So one of my favorite chest movements is the Arsenal incline press. I love having my arms in parallel to my body. So check this out. As you can see with that, great contraction at the top, really isolates the pecs. And the key thing is when most people are doing chest, the problem is they get a lot of shoulder involvement. And so you see, consequently, you see a lot of times that athletes that have huge front delts and not a great upper chest. What I've found is one of the key factors in your upper chest to grow is in order to keep the shoulders out of it, you got to learn to keep those shoulders retracted and almost act like you're pushing your elbows together and not so much pushing over. Because every time you protract your shoulders forward, you get a lot more front delt involvement. So you want to keep those shoulders out of it, get chest up, and really push, almost like throwing your back into the bench and throwing your elbows together, really to hit the chest to minimize the shoulder involvement. Next exercise I like to do is obviously the king exercise for chest, which recently has come out that people don't like it, but I still love to do it. And yes, you do have to be careful because if you don't warm up properly, the bench press can create some shoulder issues. You are more likely to tear a pec, but don't try and do weight you're not capable of doing, number one. Don't try to max out too often. And make sure you have a good training plan when it comes to bench pressing, and it can be safe. Now, as you can see with benching like that, is more typical like your powerlifting style bench. High arch, driving the elbows in towards your torso, and then pulling the weight down to you, using your lats to control the weight down, allowing it to come to the bottom of the sternum, and then exploding up towards your head. That's more like a power style bench. That's how I grew up benching. That's how I built a lot of chest mass. But another way that I learned to do it, that I also, to help build my upper chest, now it does put a little more strain on shoulders, but I do like it to isolate more of the upper chest, even while bench pressing. And that's like bench pressing almost to the neck. So again, if you're not advanced, don't do this. But if you're advanced, you've been training for a while, and you feel like you can get more out of your bench press, this is the way to do it. All right, so with that, you see the arms are not close to the torso, they're wide, super wide. I'm coming down 90 degrees, and I'm coming down to as low as I can. I feel a stretch across the delt, but an extreme stretch across the upper chest. And when I'm pushing up, again, I'm pushing like I'm putting my elbows together. You don't need a lot of weight. Definitely shouldn't go anywhere near failure. I think when you're doing that, try and leave like 3 reps in reserve. Definitely slow and control, 5-second negative, 3-second negative. Definitely don't try and pump it out. That is a definite way to get an injury. But nice slow descent and flow through it. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about. Great chest development. You're gonna flip over the flies, and I think these are underestimated. You could actually you actually can do your whole chest workout with flies. Nothing's gonna isolate the pecs like a fly. So let's go over and do this. All right, good. As you can see, I do it with the hands turned out as opposed to the hands in. Feel less stress on my shoulder when I have the hands, the pinkies going out, as opposed to the hands facing. Also feel you get a better stretch throughout your pectoral when you turn your hands out, like in that manner, because it flows better with the natural movement of the muscle. But typically, 10, 12 reps. Again, slow, controlled, negative portion of the muscle. Whenever going to that eccentric, control it. You decrease your chance for injury when you do that. But you just feel a great contraction. And with dumbbells, most of your contraction or most of the intensity, not the intensity, you can edit this right. Most of the stress placed on the muscle is going to be when you're in that elongated position. As you come to the center, the stress on the muscle begins to lessen. So if you want to intensify so the stress on the muscle equally throughout the entire portion of the muscle, then incline flies with a cable would be your best bet. But incline dumbbell flies, awesome movement. All right, now we're going to go down into a decline dumbbell press. So, unlike most declines, you don't need a big decline, just a slight decline. So let me set that up for you. Okay, that there is your decline dumbbell press. Great movement. You'll feel it all the way through your pecs, lower pecs, mid, upper. Again, in that angle, you actually minimize the triceps because you're actually getting that full contraction before you actually extend all the way. So you're minimizing the triceps. You're in a grounded position, so the position's a little better for the shoulders. But most importantly, you're feeling it, you're contracting hard, a lot of stimulation. Stimulate, lead to more muscle growth. So again, that's one of my other favorite muscle builders for your chest. And last but not least, I like to do for chest, let's do some cables. I've done some upper cable crossovers. I like that movement a lot for my inner chest. When I was young in the bodybuilding, I had a sizable gap, and I attribute the cable crossovers to one of the things that really helped me fill that in. So like, when you're doing it, it's crazy amount of stress you feel towards the inner chest when I'm doing it. Obviously the stretch, but when I contract in, the inner chest is where I'm feeling the most. Love this movement. Nice thing about it, I can pre-exhaust the pecs before I press to get even more chest stimulation out of it, so that I'm not stressing the triceps and shoulders as much when I'm pressing through, when I'm doing my flat movement, or I can put it at the end as a finisher. So either way, you definitely want flies and cables, dumbbells, cables, whatever. I'm gonna set it over there. Either way, you want different fly movements in your program to get the most out of your chest training. I wouldn't say that You can't develop a great chest without flies, but it definitely makes it so there's not a whole lot of shoulder and tricep involved in building your chest. So definitely that movement. And then we're going to do one last movement that's also involving cables, and maybe two, but definitely this one you got to do this. Most people don't do this enough, and it really helps bring the upper pec up. So we're going to try this. So just finishing the lower cable pulls, what I like to call them. Some people call them low to high. I love that movement for my upper chest. We're seeing big dividends created from that movement alone. You don't have to go heavy. Really isolates the pec. Again, there's nothing wrong with benching a ton of weight, incline pressing a lot of weight, but the flies, the movement that actually isolate the pec, you're getting so much bang for your buck out of them. You definitely want to include them. If not, you end up like a lot of individuals where you have these overdeveloped shoulders and your pecs are underdeveloped, and you see it so many times, even on top level bodybuilders. So, and then later on, they play catch up by going back and realizing, shit, I need to probably start some of my workouts with incline flies, with the lower cable pulls, with cable crossovers, things of that nature. So now we're going to finish up, seriously, we're going to finish up right now with some dips. Now, key thing when you're trying to hit dips for chest and isolate, kind of take the triceps out as much as possible. I mean, it's impossible to, but to make it focus more on the chest, really make sure you're really leaning into the movement as much as possible, allowing those pecs to stretch as much as possible. When you come up, again, driving those elbows in like you're trying to put them together. It's really going to get your body, get the muscle to flex, the chest to flex, and the dips are supposed to be for the lower chest, but I also, at the top, if you really pay attention to squeezing, you'll get that clavicular head of the chest as well. So, the pec as well. So, dips again, I usually put them at the end of the workout, so I don't have to use big 100-pound plates of resistance to make the movement worth it, but it's definitely, or get ample resistance out of it, we'll put it that way, it's always worth it. Get ample resistance out of it. So definitely putting it towards the end is what I would suggest. One fun thing I like to do with them is put like a long negative on them, so you're really focusing on that stretch and exploding up to the top. So add it into your workout, but what do we do, 5?
6 or 7.
5 or 6. And don't forget, tried and true, can't ever go wrong with push-ups. Finishing off the workout with push-ups, 50 push-ups, 100 push-ups. The pump that you get from that is absolutely insane, and I love finishing off the workout with push-ups. So again, as you can see in the pics here, as you can see, my chest was always one of my strong points, and these are the things I did to build it. So if you thought you gained any knowledge from this, if you thought you learned anything, if you want to hear more about other body parts, please like it, subscribe, ask your questions below. Peace.